Hey guys, this is Pterodactyl. I'm Dustin. This is Jacob. Say hey, Jacob.
My name Oobdub.
Sorry, I'm Dustin. This is Ubdub. He doesn't know how to say his own name. He got hit in the head when he was a baby.
My name Oobdub.
Anyways,
I scout people.
so this is going to be chapter 3 of the Chronicles of Pastow. Let's just jump right into it and see where we're going to go. So last time, Ubdub kind of explored the town a little bit, and we're going to start this session off with a wake-up sequence, you know? Just imagine it. He's in an oversized bed. It's really just a human twin bed. He's in a room sleeping with another gnome man. He's probably up already, though.
All right, so I wake up. I get out of the bed where I was sleeping with another man.
No, he was in a different bed.
He was in a different man.
Yes, he was in a different man. Basil runs from the room. Let me make sure Basil is actually a boy. Basil's a girl. Sorry. You thought that was a man. Short hair.
Oh no! I've got to have to send her a gift basket later. Maybe one with scalps.
Scallops would be nice.
Which one of us is the serial killer? You or me?
I said scallops.
Oh, I said scalps.
I said scallops. We have different tastes.
We do.
Okay.
You have an O in your taste.
No, realistically, you wake up.
I get up, I shower, I get dressed, and I'm ready for the day. I got my sword on my hip, which happens to just be a big-ass butcher knife. And I am going to, because this is what I'm going to do every morning, I'm going to go feed the badgers.
Okay.
Because that's what I would do. Ubdub wants to feed the badgers.
You won't need to roll checks for this. It was just a first-time thing whenever, you didn't have like a little routine down. You're going to have a routine down for that at this point. You will get your routine payment, 15 gold pieces.
That's a lot for feeding badgers. I'm happy to hear that.
Considering that there is a hazard of losing one's arm or death, you get paid a little bit more. Anyways, so you finish your daily routine. I'm going to say it takes about an hour. It's probably like 10 a.m. I feel like your character's not a super late sleeper.
What news do the badgers give me? I know. Veronica the badger. How's Veronica doing? I ask one of the badgers.
She hungers for elf
She
flesh.
hungers.
Are you a tiny elf?
Does she hunger for elf scalps?
We do not eat hair.
What if it's de-haired?
They look at each other. They look back. That would be the equivalent of potato skins.
Oh, sounds delicious.
It is. Make sure you have an oven.
Will do.
Easy
So I go
bake
about
oven.
feeding them, listening to them tap away.
Yes, dude.
Just giving me little messages here and there. Because, I guess I should explain. I am a burrow ventriloquist. Elocutionist.
He talks to moles.
I understand the tapping of badgers. I can understand Morse code, thank you very much. And the badgers understand Morse code too.
It's really burrow code.
Burrow code.
He didn't choose the burrow life. The burrow life chose him. He lives in a burrow. He was born in a burrow. That's how it always has been. And how it always will be.
So, I feed them. And I leave.
Okay,
I feed them well. I want that to be prefaced. I feed them well. I'm supposed to give them such and such amount of food. I give them extra portions.
You're giving them centipede meat. That's not feeding them well. They want fucking elf meat.
I give them extra centipede meat that I find.
Anyways, but where do you go, though? Where are you going to go?
Well, I'm going to go topside. I'm going to go look for Nerfalug, because I heard from a little birdie that he had a job for me.
Okay. You go back up into the bar area, and the normal group of Nerfalug, Snurf, and Nunfer are sitting at their normal table. You've kind of noticed this is a trend. They'll wake up, they'll do some planning, they'll go out, do their own thing for a little while, and they always end and begin the day the same way, in a little group meeting. They're kind of the brains of this organization, Once again, you walk up the steps just like last time. You hear them kind of talking to each other. How do you get Nerflug's attention?
I wait for a pause in the conversation.
Okay.
And then I take a seat.
All right, 1 second. You hear the you pull the chair out. You hear it scrape across the floor, and you sit down, and they're all just kind of staring at you.
I give them a shit-eating grin that just completely tells them that I have no idea what the concept of social decorum is.
You must have got lucky last night or something. So what's up?
No, but Basil did.
Don't talk about my fiance that way.
Oh. I put my hand on his shoulder. I've got some bad news, man.
What?
I then proceed to tell them about Basil's infidelity.
With who? No, she was in Snurf's bed.
I'm super sorry. Wasn't she in bed with another man? That was Snurf?
Your roommate.
Wait, so Snurf and I sleep together?
Yes.
Oh!
Snurf's just looking at you like, I think this man is delusional.
Oh, that was you!
Well, yes, we are roommates
Snurf.
now. Bunkmates? I don't know.
Right. For some reason, I thought... Hi, Normie. So... Nerfalug. What up, old homie? I take my fist, I clap it against his. Show of respect, you know? The Gnomish show of respect. I heard you had a job for me, you know?
Oh my gosh, your character's so awkward. Nerfalug turns.
I've been in prison for 30 years.
He has to look at you with his left eye because he's missing his right. So he turns most of his body towards you, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I actually do kind of have a job for you. It's a family of bankers. They have the singular most used bank in the entire city-state. It's one building, and at least 70% of people use this bank. So we really need you to go and kind of intimidate them, get them to pay some insurance money monthly for protection."
So protection racket. I can do that.
Exactly. Now,
So
I don't expect results very quick. Like I said, it's been a tough cookie to crack. What do you want when you finish the job? You know.
what do I want? I want an elf. Yeah, I want an elf.
Your hobbies you'll have to provide for yourself. We cannot provide you with them.
They're not for me. It's not for me. I just kidnap me an elf.
Have you been talking to the Badger Moles?
Maybe.
Snurf slides you a gold pouch while no one's looking.
Badger moles. Those are copyrighted.
They're not copyrighted, are they?
It's owned by Nickelodeon.
Is it really? I need to Google this real quick.
More than likely, yes. This broadcast has been brought to you by Mail Supplement.
I don't think it... We'll just call them giant badgers then. Giant badgers.
Yes, I've been speaking with the giant badgers. They tell me things.
Listen, if you want to give the giant badgers...
I want to give the
you
giant
gotta find
badgers...
it yourself.
That's my payment. That's what I want.
Look, I'm sorry, we cannot provide you elf trafficking.
Gold. I'm going to crack this. Okay, if I crack this hard nut for you guys to crack, that apparently, and I'm assuming everyone in this room has tried this before and hasn't succeeded at successfully getting protection money out of this bank. I look around the room. Anybody nod? Everybody's tried this?
They all kind of look disappointed. Numfer's like, I haven't.
All right.
Tried yet.
I
don't really do this stuff usually.
I'm going to crack this hard nut for you guys to crack. I'm going to crack this nut. And when I do, I want the simple payment. And it doesn't even have to be a good elf. You can find some, elf on the side of the road who's dying of herpes or something. I don't care. All it has to be is an elf.
Roll me a diplomacy check.
That's a natural 19.
They all look really uncomfortable. You can tell they really don't want to just go kidnap you some gnome off the street.
21.
Because it's something they're going to have to cover up.
You gotta go find a homeless elf. He doesn't even have to be from here.
Look, okay, I'll see what I can do, but...
You broke me out of jail.
Yes.
Caused all sorts of chaos.
We owed you a debt, and we didn't get caught doing that.
I'm not gonna get caught getting you guys protection money.
But we don't want to...
You guys
look, you don't normally find homeless elves. You don't understand. Most of the elves that live in this town, they're normal citizens. You know, they're going to be missed if they go missing. You know, that leads to investigations.
Okay, I have a counteroffer.
Okay.
Bring me a half-elf.
Look, if we find a homeless half-elf or elf, let's see what we can do. But in the meantime, think about other payments you'd like. Magic weapons, magic items, runes, gold, man-servants, woman-servants, whatever you want. The kidnapping somebody for you to try and feed them to the giant badgers is a little harder.
I shall take a servant, but it must be an elf. I am steadfast on this. You will not convince me.
If you feed the servant elf, that is even worse. Because they'll know where they were when they went missing.
I didn't say we were going to... Okay, look, I'll go crack this nut, and then we'll talk payment.
Fine by me. But it'll take longer for you to get your payment if it's something ridiculous.
I'm okay with this. I can wait because I am a patient man.
All right, so look.
Because I can count the very seconds it takes. I have many years of practice.
All right, so this bank doesn't have a name. The owners forgot what it was.
But what's everybody else call it? The bank?
Well, the Ghost Bank.
That is a very strange name. Why do they call it that?
You will understand when you get there.
I feel like a reference just went over my head.
It might have.
I nod my head. I'm like, I'm going to go crack its hard nut.
Look, it's not very far down the road. Please wait for one moment while we go into intermission.
Excuses for our technical difficulties.
Okay. So I remember where your base building is now. You can stop doing that now.
What?
Okay. I remember where your base is now. Okay, so your base building is right here. So we're gonna call this. We're gonna call it 4th Street.
We live on 4th Street.
Yeah,
awesome.
You live on the cross of 4th Street and Wind Avenue. Let me write that down. 4th and Wind.
As you should.
4th and Wind. Okay, so where you need to go is to get to the Ghost Bank. You need to go to this building right here, which is on the cross of 4th and Salisbury.
4th and Salisbury. That shouldn't be too hard.
Okay. It's not very far. It's in one of the better districts. So yeah. All right. Yeah, so you'll need to go to 4th and Salisbury. That's where the Ghost Bank is. Now, you've cleaned up a lot. You got your little aviator suit going on there. I don't really think that anyone's going to notice you. At least not for a while. But if you need anything to help with the disguise, that's free of charge. We want to make sure nothing happens to you. You're a valuable part of the organization. The Twiddlefoots don't want to lose you again. They all nod.
Excellent. It's good to know. It's nice to be appreciated.
Well, look. We know got to watch out for each other.
Which one of you was talking to me again?
That was Nerfalug.
Nerfalug. It's nice to be appreciated, Nerfalug.
Hey, we're a family.
And then I take him and I wrap him in a hug.
The other two stand up and they come around and it's a big group hug. Jeff's brother walks in. Hey guys,
get in the hug.
He just gets pulled in. Okay.
Hey, Nerfalug.
Yeah.
Can you let me go? I have to go crack a nut.
Phrasing. They all let go. All right. I assume you head straight out?
I head straight out, and I give them a 2-finger salute telling them that I'll be back before dinner.
Okay. So, you walk out the front door. You go through the little...
I'm going to quick save right here.
You're going to quick save right here.
Here's the quick save point.
Quick save.
If I fuck up, this is where we're coming back.
Okay. Quick save point. Is this staying in the video?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. So, you walk down 4th Street. Do you want any details about anything? Or...
Yeah. Give me all the details. Everybody wants to hear the details,
okay,
especially
cool.
me.
So, Pastow is like, imagine like a town that's built on the Mediterranean. Probably the northern portion, not the southern portion. The southern portion's like very vastly different, honestly. You know, I would initially think that it's mostly desert, but it's not. But like, you can imagine it's like you're in a Grecian town, with that type of weather. The sun's up. I think that I said it was like late summer is the time of year. So it's kind of hot, very, very humid since it's coastal. And the roads are all like stone tiles. And it's a lot of like sand and limestone, which is kind of like a beige color to like kind of a whiter color. Because limestone's very light, but kind of like a beigey white. And sandstone is more of a brownish color, but it's also kind of like got that creamy appearance. And most of the buildings are made out of those types of, limestone and sandstone bricks. So you see a lot of those colors. People keep a lot of their buildings. They're clean. They clean the buildings real well. So it's got the Grecian city thing I told you about. That's got a very good look to it. It's not quite as terraced, but the way the city is designed is that because the town itself is located in plains and it's very flat, they have this weird thing that goes on in the city of Pastow. The more money you make, the taller you build your house, so that you can look over the other people. So like in one part of Pastow, the richest part, it's literally like a man-made plateau that's pretty much lording it over the rest of the town. And they have towers built all over it. And those are literally people's houses. They live in the towers. So the richer that someone is, the taller their house is. And they'll live on the top floor. Elevators are used quite heavily in this town. So as you leave your base of operations...
So, if that's the case, may I ask one quick question?
Yeah.
The street that I'm heading towards, Salisbury, is it in the Rich District?
It is not. You were actually located pretty close to the Rich District. This is the bank.
Am I the...
This you? This bank? This Rich District.
Alright. I see.
Okay. So when you walk out, you actually see the start of the plateau, this giant concrete hill, for, lack of a better explanation. And you walk down this tiled street, and you see the buildings. They're not the buildings, although they're made out of those bricks. They're not like real close together. They have little yard spaces. There's plenty of grass. They have like real yards, not just. It's not like a urban apartment type setting, even though it's a pretty densely packed place. As you walk down the road, most of what you're going to see is people either getting off of work and going home or out running errands. It's probably about 11 a.m., like I said. You're probably not like a super early riser since you stay up real late. And the only other thing you might see are people going out to lunch. There are one or two restaurants on your way to the bank if your character decides he wants to eat.
No, I ate some of the centipede. If it's good for the badgers, it's good for me.
Well then, also since it's part of your character, I will say that you count exactly 206 people on your way there. You count 58 buildings, and I'm calculating steps. Give me a second. I'm going to say that each of your steps is about 2/3 of a foot, which is 8 inches.
I was about to ask whether or not you were calculating it in gnome steps or human steps.
I was doing gnome steps. You have probably about an 8-inch gate, and each building is approximately going to be about 40 feet long, and you pass 58 of them, not including the 20 feet of space of yard on either side. So you're doing 60
so many
times
numbers,
58,
I'm overstimulated.
which is 780 feet. Divide that by 8. No, wait, no. Multiply that by 12. And then divide that by 8. You've got 1,170 steps.
So 1,170 steps later, passing 58 buildings and 260 people, I arrive at the bank.
206 people.
206.
Yeah, you also count 14 dogs. 3 cats and 87 pigeon rats.
Oh my god, I love pigeon rats.
All right, so you get to the bank building. I'd say it's about 50 feet tall. It's done very well, but it looks, I would say, vacant. But there are people going in and out of it in a steady stream.
Are the windows busted out or something? What about it makes it look vacant?
It doesn't look like it's been upkept. But it doesn't look unupkept. Like, it's still kind of clean. But you can tell this building is very old. It's got...
I'm going to just randomly grab somebody off the street.
A human's walking by and you grab his coattail. And you tug on it.
Sir!
Ah, yes, an elf child. What can I do for you, young man? Are you lost?
Go with it, I whisper to myself. No, I was curious. Maybe you could answer a question. You see that building over there?
Ah, the Ghost Bank, yes. I was actually on my way in.
Wow, I knew. I was curious if you could tell me about that bank.
Well, it's run by a family of ghosts. It's also the safest and best bank in town.
Uh-huh. Thank you. I'm going to walk down the nearest alley. And that same man who I just asked the questions of is going to hear me cursing along the lines of, "Fudge! Poopy pant! Ball frack!"
You're just kicking a metal trash can over and over.
Just taking 2 metal lids and just clamming them together as hard as I can. Ding, 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 ding. Fudge!
My stars, that elf child is having a tantrum the likes of no man's seen. Anyways, okay, so the man actually pulls a pocket watch out. He looks at it, he's like, I'm running late already. And he goes on inside. Let me describe the building. So like I said, it's about 50 feet tall. It's got 4 of those Roman columns They're the kind that are straight all the way up, not the ones that like taper towards the end. And they're directly under an overhang, so it kind of has a 6-foot overhang out the front, and it's got these large windows. There's like 5 of them in between the columns and in the walls that encapsulate the overhang. It's got like one of those government building looks, and the glass in the windows is like gold with a kind of a fading red trim between the panes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. What now, Ubdub?
I'm going to go open an account.
Okay. You walk in
I'm
through
now
one of
going
the
to walk in
doors.
the building.
It's one of the strangest doors you've ever seen. There's no handle. You walk up to this strange device. Like, it looks like 3 doors fused, but each one was turned slightly. And as you enter, you're separated from other people as they're pushing on the handle on their door. Like, it's a long, wide handle, and you can't even really reach yours too well. And you just kind of get pushed, and I need you to...
Whoa.
And roll me a D100, a percentile.
Oh, no. What will the percentile give me? I rolled a 92.
So, on your... You glimpse the inside of the bank, but you're pushed forward, and you glimpse the outside of the bank, but you're pushed forward, and you topple out into the bank, looking around wildly.
What the fudge was that?
The people kind of look at you strange, but ignore you as they go on their way. And on the inside, it's large, it's open. You see like those little velvet rope lines, so that there are lines. There's 3 lines, and you see at every teller window a mannequin, but the mannequin is moving at each one.
Huh.
There's probably about 67 people in here that you count.
Do I count myself in this number?
No.
68.
Are you people, Ubdub?
I am people. I'm more people than most people.
More human.
I'm the only people.
Human. Sorry, more gnomish than no man. All right. So, anyways.
All right.
So, which line do you get in?
What lines are there? Is there a difference between the lines? Does it matter?
Well, line 1, there's 67 people. Line 1 has 22. Line 2 has 22. But line 3 has 23.
I should go to line 3. And there are 24 people.
Very well. I'm going to say it takes about 6 minutes to get through this line. Like, normally...
This is a very efficient bank.
It is. They said it was the best bank in the town. This is like the Chick-fil-A of banks in terms of efficiency.
No, I'm just imagining some dude just walks up to the front counter with a sack of gold. He's like, I'm here to make it... Gold's gone.
Basically.
It's like, I didn't even finish, but he's gone too.
All right, so you get up to the third window. Now, there's 5 windows in total. I just want to preface this. The other 2 have little closed signs. You get up to the window, and the mannequin moves its faceless head towards you. Hello, how can I help you today?
Hi, I'm not entirely sure you can help me.
Really? What is it that you need?
Yeah. I need a cost-free loan.
Well, since we have no need for money, we're a non-profit bank. We will gladly loan you out at 0% interest. All we need is proof of... I'm sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied today. All we need is proof of employment.
So you'll just give me the money?
If you have proof of employment. Also, We need your address. We really need you to start an account because we only do in-house loans.
Okay, so what if... Do you have a loan option that doesn't have to be paid back?
That would be called a
charity
grant.
loan.
That would be called a grant.
A charity loan.
And we do not specialize in grants, unfortunately.
What if I need you to?
You could discuss it with the bank owner.
Could I?
Yes.
Would I be allowed to?
Yes, 1 second. Honey, and then this chest floats into the air.
There's a floating chest.
Legs and arms and a head pop out in an ethereal form. And then the chest drops back down to the floor. All three of the mannequins simultaneously put up closed for lunch signs. We will be back shortly. And then the ghost floats through the wall and says, "Please, come this way. I will discuss with you."
Okay. I am going to follow this ghost as best as I can.
He takes you into an unlit, dark, dank room. "Please, have a seat."
I look for a chair and I take a seat.
You don't have dark vision. You have low light vision, right? Or do you have dark vision?
Oh, let me double check. I have dark vision.
Okay. So you can see in the room. You can tell it hasn't been cleaned in a very, very long time. You see a chair that only looks like it was sat in by a dying raccoon. And he just kind of sits in he's in a sitting position, but there's nothing near him that seems to be he should be able to sit on. But then again, he is a ghost, so the laws of gravity do not affect him.
I shall introduce myself, my good sir. My name is Horace Hackfoot.
Horace Hackfoot. Let me write that down. A good DM takes notes. A great DM has a photographic memory.
The best kind of DM doesn't DM at all.
Yeah, the best kind of DM just makes it up the same exact way every single time because he is flawless. Or she. Or it.
Flawless.
If there's anything that isn't a he or she, maybe a sklee.
Like, if your DM isn't a floating flump.
If your DM isn't a loaf of bread that casts Mage Hand on itself to move around, then you're not doing it right.
There you go.
Okay.
If your table isn't a speaking mimic, are you really playing D&D?
I actually hate that meme. I laughed.
You're not
laughed,
playing D&D
the chest laughed, we killed
gazebo.
The chest.
Are you playing D&D?
Oh, I do like mimic gazebos quite a bit. Anyways, so, well, my name is Gare.
Horace Hackfoot, at your service, sir.
This is my family bank. I forgot the name, unfortunately, but I hear you'd like to start an account.
What is your name, sir? Since I've introduced myself,
it's Gare, Mr. Hackfoot. It's my name is Gare.
Gare. Very nice. Very lovely name. Very historic name.
I believe so.
So, I represent an organization.
Yes.
Known as the Hartford Hearts. Yes, we are a charity organization, a non-profit, if you will. And we were hoping that your bank would be willing to provide us a series of long-term, no interest down, no cost to be paid back grants. That would be paid bi-monthly.
Why? That doesn't sound like a sound business decision.
It's not, because this isn't a sound business. We're both nonprofits.
If we're nonprofit, how are we supposed to pay you?
Your bank. Do what banks do. Make more money.
But we don't make any money.
Well, you get deposits. You do investing, yes?
No, we actually don't do any investing.
Sir, I have to be honest. I don't know how banks function. I know that you put money in banks and you take money out of banks, and that banks give people money.
Well, before
I represent this organization with no concept of the idea of how money should work. We were just asking for a grant.
Well, before I died, We would actually take money from the bank. We would invest it in things, or loan out the money so that people could go buy things, and then they would pay interest, and we would make money off of the interest. But now that we do interest-free loans using the surplus of gold that we have, but we don't give that out. We only use that for those interest-free loans. We can't use it for anything else, because if we ran out of the gold, who would give out loans?
I don't know. See, money is not my strong suit. I'm just a spokesperson.
And where is Hartford, anyways?
Not from here. Not from Pastow. We are from outside of Pastow.
To the west, the east, or the west?
The west?
Yes, I've never been there before.
Yeah, neither have I.
But how can you represent them if you're not from there?
I'm just not from there. I am a foreign employee. I'm from Pastow, which is why I'm talking to you. But if we actually got involved, we'd have to actually fly out the current head of Hartford Hearts, all the way from the west.
So what does Hartford Hearts do?
So they hired me. We provide hearts to needy ghost children and vampires.
I need you to roll a check for that one.
Okay, so it's higher than it looks. It's a natural 9. But I get to... This is a deception check, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why didn't I get deception? I got intimidation like a total jackass. Alright, so I got an 11.
He does the ghost variation, which means he's floating, of standing up and says, I believe our time is done. I would thank you, but this wasn't something that is worth thanking. And he floats through the wall.
Mr. Greer.
My name was Gare, as he leaves.
Gare?
Nope, he's gone. Through the wall.
Okay. Are there any windows in this room?
There are a couple of broken windows.
Is there any that aren't broken?
Any art?
Any that aren't?
Oh, there are 2 unbroken windows.
I take both chairs and throw them through the windows.
Let me just roll this percentile real quick. There were no guards immediately outside, but people are looking into the room. Most of them are human, so they can't see you. Not like they're up on the doorway.
Ah! I scream. I'm being held hostage.
What is your goal here, sir?
I'm trying to figure something out. I'm playing it by ear.
What would normal people do in this situation? They all start to look concerned, but they don't do anything.
What would normal people do? Exactly what they're doing. Makes perfect sense to me.
But none of them would actually do anything.
I know. Okay, well, hey, I've been left alone inside a massive bank behind the teller. You know what? I'm gonna go exploring. What are they gonna do? Stop me?
No, it's kind of like it would have been an old office room off to the side. It's not like it goes back into the lobby.
I am going to do the sensible thing, and I think to myself, what can ghosts do to me, a living person? I'm going to go look for their vault.
Okay, so that would involve you going out into the lobby and then just trying to walk behind the tellers.
Yes.
And I assume you're just gonna... Are you gonna do this with any stealth? Which is practically impossible anyways.
You know, because it's practically impossible, I'm going to not attempt to do so.
I mean, it's in broad daylight. There's 67 people.
I'm gonna walk to the front of line 1.
Okay, you cut in line. And Alpha's like,
hey, just push the man out of the way.
Oh my gosh! Why would you do that? You can't just push someone out of the way.
I look at the teller. Is the teller who's speaking?
It's a mannequin. No, it's not a
Mannequin.
It was the elf man you pushed out of the way.
Can you give me a moment, sir? I am in desperate need of a withdrawal.
So am I. I have children to feed. I run an orphanage.
Give me a moment. It'll only be a moment, sir.
No, I've had to
So
wait
rude.
5 minutes. That's 5 minutes of
Sir!
my time I'll never get back.
Sir! You will take a minute more.
He takes his glove off and slaps you with it.
I walk out of the bay.
How dare he break in line?
I look at the front door, and I wait for him to walk out.
He walks out a minute and a half later.
Great. I hide amongst the crowd and follow him from a distance.
Oh my gosh. Roll me a stealth check.
Oh, that's a non-natural 20. That's a 23.
He doesn't notice you following him. More than likely, probably because he just doesn't consider someone might be following him. You follow him up a couple roads, and he goes outside of a large, low building. You can tell they probably don't make the most money. He opens the door and he goes in. How far back were you from following him?
Far back enough that he can't see me, but I can see him.
25 to 30 feet. You got it. Okay, so by the time you get up to the door or window, if you feel like looking inside, he has gone inside for about 10 or 15 seconds.
Interesting.
What's
the building I'm looking at?
You look up. There's a sign. It says Gideon's Orphanage for the unprivileged.
Okay, cool. Alright, I'm going to wait.
For what?
I'm going to wait for him to leave.
Okay, give me a second while I write Gideon's Orphanage for the unprivileged down, since I pulled that out of my ass.
Now owned by the Hartford Heart, because we have a heart. Mostly at the time it's yours.
Okay, so 7 hours later, as he leaves to get dinner for all these orphans,
My eyes are bloodshot from staring at the door.
he walks out. I literally picture this. You're standing in the grass. You've been staring through the window. You barely are tall enough to see through the window, so it's just like the tip of your nose and your eyes are pointed through the window. And he doesn't see you, and he opens the door, and it almost touches you, and he closes it behind him. He doesn't even see you. He just walks past. Let me see, it was noon whenever you got to his orphanage. It's been 7 hours. It's 7 p.m. It's dusk. There's still light, but it will soon be dark. What do you do? Also,
How many people are on the street?
you count 88. It's a
I
busy street.
continue to follow him from a distance.
Okay. Well, he goes to the more busy area, and since this is a town of roughly 80,000, when you get to the market where he's going, you see hundreds of people, maybe even 1,000, more than 1,000, because he goes to the market in the middle of the map.
Can I change my tune?
What do you mean?
I don't want to follow him now that I think. I give up the chase.
Really?
I go back to the orphanage.
Okay, you go back to the orphanage.